What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. It's the 2018 Detroit Lions season wrap up show. Wanted to just do, give some awards out to Lions. Some of the awards and some accolades and not so good accolades. Probably gonna be the majority of the video. Definitely appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon button if you have not already. Obviously we know the Lions got the eighth pick. They won a meaningless game yesterday, but it's kind of gonna be like a timeline. It might not be like the most accurate timeline as far as most of the stuff that happened, because I didn't really lay this out or prep this like I should have, but I had that much time. But yeah, obviously we know the NFC North was won by the Chicago Bears this season. Let me see what they ended up. They ended up 12-4. Lions finished last in NFC North, 6-10. Uh, so yep. So it wasn't the best season for the Lions, obviously. It wasn't the worst, but the thing about the NFL is a little bit different from the NBA from this standpoint. NBA doesn't have the talent depth the NFL does. Okay, you have 2 rounds in the NBA draft. You got free agents that really only want to play in particular places like LA, New York, South Beach for the most part. Those are like the hotbeds, especially LA. So I mean, it's different in NFL. NFL, you have a lot of teams that got money. Okay, you got a lot of parity in the NFL. It's a ton of talent. I mean, you can find somebody in the fifth, seventh round that can become a Pro Bowler, All Pro. You can also find undrafted free agents that can be a Pro Bowler and probably be on the way to the Hall of Fame, like Terrell Davis or another Denver Bronco, Philip Lindsay, who tore it up this year. So you just never know. It's really about talent evaluation for the NFL. And I say that Bob Quinn last year, starting off with the draft. I don't have a complete sheet in front of me, but I can pull it up. Starting off with the draft, I don't think he did that bad this year. Okay, give me 1 second. I don't think he did that bad. I know he had one injury. He had one injury this season, and that was the fullback from San Diego State. You know what I'm saying? They had one injury this season. Man, he got injured before it even started. Um, Frank Ragnow, I mean, he did okay this year. Obviously he gave up some pressure, some sacks, even though he didn't give up a sack in college. We knew that wasn't gonna hold long in the NFL. They picked him in the first round. Second round, they picked Kerryon Johnson. The thing about Kerryon Johnson is that they didn't even actually want Kerryon Johnson. They actually wanted Rashawn Penny. He didn't really have a good year with Seattle, but it's not the end all be well. Yeah, Nick Baldwin. Appreciate it, Kyle Renenberg. Hopefully I got your name right. Kerryon Johnson was an outstanding pick. I like Greg now as a pick. Tracy Walker, I think, is going to be a good pick. So Deshaun Hand was, I think, the best pick, or best defensive pick overall. He had a hell of a year. So he hit on 4 straight picks. I mean, or potential 4 straight picks. Ragnow, uh, Kerryon Johnson. He hit on I think Tracy Walker gonna be good. I like Tracy Walker. I was one of the few people that actually like Tracy Walker coming out the draft. It's Darius Slay's brother-in-law. I think he could have played some cornerback this year if they needed him to. I don't know why they didn't try that. Maybe they want to complicate things for him. Deshaun Hand, I know Terrell Cross, he started some games. Nick Baldwin, he was a 7th-round pick. He didn't really get the, former quarterback show what he can do. He got injured early on in camp. So the draft was pretty much a success so far for me. And I don't think Martin Mayhew has ever had a draft like that. And when he did have a draft similar to that, that was because of Brian Sanders. Y'all remember Brian Sanders was supposed to be this great general manager, great draft pick coming from Denver. For people who remember that. So the draft wasn't bad, but remember, they was real cheap in free agency. I think the best free agent pickup they got, in everybody's opinion, this is before the season start, was actually Deshaun Hand. Everybody's excited to get Deshaun Shed, excuse me. Everybody's real excited to get Deshaun Shed. And obviously he didn't pan out. He got cut due to injuries, but he was sucking in camp as well. And then you had What's homeboy name? Devin Kennard. I think he did well this year, but I don't like him as a linebacker. And I will obviously get to the defense. And I acknowledge the chat. Give me 1 second. I didn't like him at all being a linebacker this year. I loved him when he put his hand in the dirt or he was able just to go rush and get the passer. But he was a successful free agent pickup. They brought Neville Lawson back. I didn't understand the math behind that or just the reasoning behind that. Um, he had this he has an incentive based contract to a certain extent. I don't like him. He won't be coming back to my team. And I get to the prominent the guys that'll know prominent guys that I don't want back. So I'm gonna get to the whole nine. I'm gonna try to be thorough, but I like Devin Kennard more with his hand in the dirt and rushing. I don't like him as a coverage linebacker at all. You know what I'm saying? If they gonna run a 3-4 defense, then I love him staying on the outside. But if they gonna they gonna run a 4-3, a 3-4-3. I like him with his hand in his dirt. I think the Lions need him with his hand in the dirt. But that's just my personal opinion. You keep it moving. You look at who else they bring for agency? Look here, Blunt. I think he was up and down this year, but I think obviously that's considered a failure in my opinion. I don't believe he's gonna be back. They brought Zach Zenner back. I think at the end of the season, that was just see what he did good, but I don't know if he run a roster spot. You know what I'm saying? Like he put some weight on, like he changed. Put some weight on. He was fresher than most guys because he hadn't been playing all year, so that could be a part of that. But well, once again, I don't remember who else they bought in free agency. I really don't care because they probably didn't matter. Um, so I'm just thinking, well, Luke Wilson was probably the free agent dud of the year. Him and Deshaun Shed, man. I think they was the dud of the year. I think that's because of Jim Bob Cooter. I'm gonna cover it all. Let me get to the chat real quick. I think Tease Tabor's gone, obviously, or he's gonna have a position switch. I'm gonna get through the chat. What's going on, Beast Mode? What's going on, Eric Gross? What's going on, Props? 313 Beast Mode. I'm still think the Lions can get Josh Allen or top edge rusher. Yeah, I gotta study the draft, man. Give me a minute on some of these names, man. I've watched college this year, but it's not. I didn't watch it like I could. I had a lot going on. Frederick Williams, what's going on? Appreciate it, man. What's going on, family? Mars Landon, I'm at work. I can't talk, but I'm listening to everything. Salute. Um, yeah, salute, Mars Landon. Kyle Renenberg, salute, appreciate that. Had to remember old boy name. Ragnar, Kerryon Johnson, Han Crosby. Then boy, I think it was a very successful draft. Beast mode. Yeah, Nick Baldwin. I think the other guy, number 43, wasn't bad, bro. But I think Nick Baldwin, man, he come back. You did, my friend. None says my name. Right, high five, bro. Oh, cool, cool. I had a teacher named Miss Sonnenberg, so pronounce that. Or I had a teacher named Miss Rojanowski. Another girl, a guy teacher that had a name similar to her. Man, most of my teachers in middle school hated me. In high school, I understood to kind of calm down, kind of settle down. I fought so much in middle school, bro. My anger issues I guess I let them out. I had high hopes for Sylvester Williams too. Oh yeah, good one, Sylvester Williams. Me too. Maybe he just got beat up, bro. Some of them big fellas, man. When they decline, they decline. Especially if they don't really cut their weight. Eli Hero was a trade. He was an acquisition. We got him a trade, but yeah, him too. Trey Flowers, Landon Collins, a corner. I like Landon Collins. I don't think he's going nowhere unless his attitude is bad. He's real vocal in that locker room. He declined. A lot of them people in New York declined. I mean, Janoris Jenkins declined. Eli Apple got up out of there. So yeah, I call him Toyota, the fullback. I mean, the tight end from Atlanta. We got. Yeah, I think he should come back. Bob Cooter has to go. I'm gonna get there. Back in this thing, Sub Zero, Matt J, salute. Um, Finn Clancher. Is Eli Arrow coming? I think Eli Harrell coming back, bro. I really do. Big Mike, I would like to see us draft Greedy Williams and Josh Allen. Yeah, I got to get familiar with Josh Allen. I hear his name is going all over the place. Go Lions all day, every day. Justin May, the rapper, what's going on? Ryan 1999. I see. Hopefully we can get to say so long to SpongeBob Cooter Pants. SpongeBob Cooter Pants. Justin May, all I want is Detroit Lions to win a Super Bowl before I die. I swear to God, you ain't lying, bro. My whole thing is the Cleveland Browns win a Super Bowl before us, bro. Man. I don't know, man. I might just go psycho, bro. I said that's the day I won't be a Lions fan no more. If the Cleveland Browns win a Super Bowl before the Detroit Lions, bro. If I quit being a Lions fan, it'd be that Romeo Okwako was good. Yeah, I like him. He was a good little free agent pickup. Uh, Eli, Eli, Snacks, Ford, Powell, all bright spots going into next year. Yeah, you can start off. We talked about kind of the draft. I think the draft was a huge success, but I think them being frugal in free agency. I mean, it was by design. I mean, the Lions had a ton of projected cap space for next year, and I think they was cheap by free agency by design. Okay, and I think that's that was by design because they got a ton of cap space this year. I say that, so I really didn't kill the Lions for the lack of free agent moves. Like when I actually thought about it, and a lot of they smaller moves like Romeo Wakwa and Eli Hero, um, great moves. Bringing in Snacks was a great move. Okay, I think Snacks solidified. Nada leaving. And obviously, Nada hasn't done nothing with Philadelphia. They had the worst run defense a lot of this year. Now they crept up into the top 7, but it ain't because of Nada. So I think getting rid of Nada, bringing in Snacks, Deshaun Hand was excellent. And we talk about who not gonna come back, but I'm trying to think what else could I cover. But it wasn't overall a bad year. The defense improved, but um, I think Pascaloni just got to go, bro. They got to get somebody younger in there, man. No offense to him, but I think the times have changed, have blown him by. I think T.J. Jones got to go, bro. He didn't do enough this year, especially when all the receivers went down. He actually got to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my personal opinion on him. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Overall, talking about see what else we had. We had some injuries: Jamal Agnew, Kerryon Johnson. Also, the Golden Tate trade I think was actually a good trade. I think the Lions, that was something that the Lions, that wasn't SOL with Golden Tate. You know what I'm saying? SOL would have been keeping Golden Tate knowing you would have had no chance to sign him, or you didn't want to sign him, or the money gap was too much. I think I said they was going to trade Golden Tate before the season. One of the dudes did a response video. I never seen it though. I forget the guy's name, and I left a comment on this video. And he did this video. He said, "No way, no how. Man, Motor City Sports Talk, he tripping. We ain't trade no Golden Tate." And I had seen the video like a little bit later, and we traded him. It was a light skinned brother in his car. And when I commented, I said I thought we wasn't trading Golden Tate. Hold on, man. My girlfriend fucking trying to Facebook, Google do me. Give me a minute, y'all. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. My fault, y'all. My girl FaceTime, she out of town and shit. So that's my bad. I'm back. She put her little nephew on the phone. He started cussing me out, so I had to show him my dog. My dog started barking at him. Yeah, I don't have an iPhone. I got Samsung, so she got an iPhone. So we Google Duo. It's like FaceTime for Android or whatever. But yeah. Oh yeah, TJ Lang, man. I think he need to retire, bro. We get to that, but remember the preseason, man. Just gonna go through the timeline, man. I appreciate everybody for sticking around. Beefcake Boys was salute. I ain't seen you in a minute. I gotta get better than getting to these comments, dude. I suck at that. But I do got another channel that got hella comments. I'm sucking at that comment section as well too. So I'm gonna be better in the comment section next year for sure. I'm definitely gonna be more active in the comment section. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the pickups and all that. Give me 1 second on that. Kind of looking at the preseason. Remember the preseason, y'all know it's been a while. You know, I don't know if everybody remember that it was a rebellious group of Detroit Lions. It was a rebellious group of Detroit Lions that he say talking like he's coming back. Yeah, I'll get to all the pickups. I'll pick a wish list pickups. I'll get to all the. I'm gonna get to these players' evaluation as well too. It's gonna be. I'm gonna put it together the best as I can in the time that I do have. But in the beginning of the season, there was a rebellious group of Detroit Lions that was basically snitching on Matt Patricia in the media, saying that he practiced them too hard. There was too many he's putting back-to-back padded practices, and to me, that sounded a little bit soft, and it sounded like the media was actually trying to sabotage Matt Patricia. And the media here, I mean the old media, most of the new media dudes I watch on YouTube, like Everything King and you know, a few other brothers on there that come on, man. I watch a lot of them, Mobby, I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name. A lot of these dudes was going on here defending Matt Patricia, and we did. I mean, I defended him as well too. I just thought the media was trying to sabotage him, and I find it funny because most of the times you get that as a race thing when people say, well, you sabotage, they sabotage Jim Caldwell, they didn't give Jim Caldwell a chance. But the Detroit media gave Jim Caldwell an excellent chance for whatever reason it was. Matt Patricia, you got to remember the timeline, never actually got a shot here in Detroit. You know, he never got a shot here in Detroit, Matt Patricia. I mean, as soon as he got here, it was, excuse me, back you heard him. As soon as he got here, it was like, they dropped the story about his rape case that got dismissed like 20 years ago. And then the players were saying they didn't like the way, you know, he was coming off. And it sounded like, and I'm not particularly sure, that he was coming off as a hard ass, you know, trying to come in and whip these dudes into shape. And he was wearing down some of the veterans, and some of the veteran leadership actually, you know, was coming out. Well, they weren't coming out. They was anonymous players saying that how they didn't really approve and didn't have a relationship with Matt Patricia, and Matt Patricia didn't listen to the veteran leadership, and basically the leadership was saying that, you know, he was practicing too hard, his methods wasn't working, and I wasn't really reading nothing into it. I remember one guy called on 97 won a ticket, and it was like in the middle of the season, and this deal was talking about the practicing outside and stuff, and he said the Lions are soft and they shouldn't be crying, they lose, and they should be wanting to do anything to win and actually put the work in. And you know, he was like, they were soft. And I'm like, he right, bro. Like, oh, man, you know, he's soft. But at the end of the day, you have to make a connection to your players or whatever. You have to have your veteran leadership. But you got to remember, none of these guys outside of the six rookies that the Lions picked up, none of these guys were Matt Patricia guys other than Tavon Wilson. And what's so funny about Tavon Wilson is Tavon Wilson had, you know, actually his worst years of Detroit Lions in the system with Matt Patricia. A lot of these dudes had a lot more success outside of Jared Davis and Terrell Austin system. Don't forget that. You know what I'm saying? But this, it never started off right for him. You know, it never started off right for Matt Patricia. He never was accepted by the fan base. And I didn't get it. Maybe because, you know, I think maybe that came because Bob Quinn wasn't real vocal. Wasn't real vocal with you know, the media, and Martin Mayhew wasn't either. Like, Martin Mayhew didn't get half the backlash as Bob Quinn. Like, Bob Quinn has actually started off with a better track record than Martin Mayhew, because if you remember, Martin Mayhew was actually a part of Tom LeWan's team. I mean, about part of Matt Millen's team. He basically got a promotion after Matt Millen left. So basically, the Millen era only officially ended when Mayhew and LeWan was fired. You know, that's when the Millen era actually ended. A lot of people don't know that. That ended when they was fired. So at the same time, you know, Bob Quinn has been seen to be more accurate on his draft picks. Now, they rewind back a little further, and I get into the good stuff. I'm just warming up. To back up a little further, I mean, you look at it just eluded my mind. I couldn't remember what I was about to say, but it just maybe it come back to me. But I was gonna say if you back up a little further, something about Martin Mayhew. But at the end of the day, you know, if you back up a little further for Bob Quinn, he did mess up on Taylor Decker. But before the shoulder injury, Taylor Decker was actually a great pickup. You know what I'm saying? And he actually was an excellent pickup, man. But that shoulder injury, it tore him up. You know, it tore him up. So the shoulder injury tore him up. He ain't been the same since that. TJ Lane, Rick Wagner, terrible pickups. Miles Killebrew, terrible pick. Tease Tabor, another terrible pick. So he had his first year draft ain't looking that good, all right. But you know, with Kenny Galladay, Jamal Agnew that year, this year was an excellent draft. In the whole nine. I don't want to play right now. Bye, bro. Bye. Go sit down. My dog, y'all. But yeah, he actually was a solid pickup, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as the drafts he had this year, but to continue going on, actually a lot of people said that he wore the Lions out. And the Lions came out flat in preseason, and it came out flat versus the New York Jets game. That's the one game I went to this year, the New York Jets game. They came out flat, you know, after that last Matthew Stafford pick and Castle came in. A lot of people walked out the stadium, and he threw like 4 picks that game. And the Lions came in flat. The defense, they started off with a pick 6 from Quadre Diggs. They started off strong. It looked like Patricia was going to have a great route win over Sam Darnold. They lost to a rookie quarterback because Stafford pretty much threw the game away. Marvin Jones dropped a couple of touchdown passes or a touchdown pass or two. Or they was tough. I couldn't call them drops, but he did drop them. And Stafford was misfiring. Remember the San Francisco game? Stafford hit Kenny Galladay deep, but he also missed Marvin Jones 1 or 2 times. He missed Kenny Galladay deep for 1 or 2 times. If he connected 50%, or at least 2 of those misconnections for wide open touchdowns in the 49er game, the Lions beat the 49ers. Stafford was pathetic until the game was out of reach and they made a comeback. But that's Matthew Stafford. You know what I'm saying? That's just how Stafford rock out, you know? You know, that's just what it is. And it's pathetic, though, because you can tell the difference between Stafford. When the pressure is on Matthew Stafford, he doesn't perform the same. When it ain't no pressure on Stafford, when the game is out of reach, he plays loose. And I don't think that's attributed to Jim Bob Cooter play calling. I think that's attributed to the player that Matthew Stafford actually is. You know what I'm saying? That's the real talk. You know what I'm saying? I think Stafford is just a player that plays tight. You know what I'm saying? He's just tight. You know, I talk about boxing on my other channel. If anybody watch boxing and MMA, sometimes you got fighters that legitimately fight tight. They fight wound up. They fight tight. They never get loose. That's just who they are. And I think Matthew Stafford is the type of guy that plays tight. And then you go into the Patriot game. Everybody didn't think they was going to the Patriot game on Sunday night. They win that game. You know what I'm saying? Dallas Cowboy game. You know, Cowboys ate up the time of possession. Our run defense was pathetic that game. Our run defense was pathetic in the 49er game. But guess what? They made stops in the second half to help Stafford come back. And they did that. The Cowboy game, Zeke went crazy. You had Zeke on the wheel route coming out the backfield. Or, you know, like I basically call it a real route coming out the backfield. He beat Jerry Davis one-on-one in a man-to-man coverage. We lost that game, even though Stafford did a great comeback drive and a pass to Golden Teddy had a huge game. They beat the Packers. Some reason Mason Crosby missed a ton of field goals. The Lions defense set the tone in that game again. You're gonna hear a trend. The Lions defense set the tone in that game. The offense barely did shit. The defense won that game, and whatever his name, Crosby missing a bunch of field goals. The Dolphin game, that was all Kerryon Johnson running against a piss poor defense. Also, Brock Osweiler was starting, and the Lions went through them coming off a bye. The Seahawks game was just pathetic. It seemed like the Lions went up the field a couple times early. They didn't get no points. Russell Wilson just torched them. They beat us in the run game. By far, they destroyed us in the run game by far. And that wasn't even close. Once again, our defense keep us in the game versus the Vikings, 24-9. We lose at Minnesota. because Matthew Stafford and the boys couldn't produce no points once again. You're hearing the trend. People say the defense gave up a few big plays. Well, you're gonna have that in the NFL. The defense is gonna give up a few big plays in the NFL because you can't touch these guys. Any of my old school NFL fans, even though I don't go as far back as the 80s, but if you remember the 90s, the early 2000s, you was able to, kind of like the NBA where you can't hand check, you was able to get physical with these guys. You know what I'm saying? You was able to touch these guys, jam them at the line, beat them up down the field. Wasn't no defenseless receiver. You was able to hit the quarterback. You was able to use the crown of your helmet. See, even going back to the 70s with Deacon Jones, you was able to slap these dudes in their helmet, and the NFL just went soft. So, a defense, man, in today's days are going to give up one or two big plays. Maybe they touchdowns or lead to field goals. That's just the way the NFL is. It's very seldom do you see a team not give up a few big plays, and those are great defenses. But they go to Chicago, get blew out. Stafford try to orchestrate a comeback late. We didn't have Golden Tate or Marvin Jones. I don't believe in that game, but it is what it is. We somehow beat the Panthers, not Cam Newton out the game, lose Kerryon Johnson for the season that game. We come out on top versus them. They was in the midst of an epic slide for the season. Chicago come here on Thanksgiving. Pretty much Stafford threw the game away. Eddie Jackson makes a great play on the blitz, covering a kid from Toledo, Michael Roberts. He covers him. Stafford throws the ball to Roberts' back hip instead of throwing out in front of him. Eddie Jackson picks it off. Stafford has another opportunity to bring the Lions back. I think Roberts ran a post corner route. He half-ass ran the route. We lose the game. The Rams game, it might sound a little bit funny, but I think that's Matt Patricia's best coaching effort on defense. Matt Patricia actually laid the blueprint on how to beat the Rams. I'm gonna get to all those questions. Old school word, biggest disappointment. I'm gonna get to Adam Gase. I'm gonna get to everything. So I'm gonna go through the season real quick, and I'm gonna get to and I'm gonna do a question and Q&A at the end. Whatever I don't cover, I give y'all opportunity to ask those questions. I try to answer them to the best of my ability. But the Rams game, that was Matt Patricia's best defensive coaching effort. I think that was the best defensive effort all year, even better than Green Bay in my opinion. I understand a shutout is a shutout, but if the offense gave the Lions anything that day, the Lions beat the Rams. Man, they put a beautiful game plan together, and I think the Bears mimicked that game plan. Everybody that's gonna go back and look at how to beat the Rams, they're gonna go back to the week December 2nd, how the Lions defended the Rams. They knew all the screenplays. They knew they just shut that shit down. If the Lions had better defensive players, they definitely, or better offense as well, they definitely win that game. They beat the Cardinals, who care. They went to Buffalo, got eliminated the playoffs. Matt Prater missed a kick. They lose to the Vikings. They had nothing for the Vikings, and obviously we blew out the Packers to get the 8th spot. So, yeah, Lions in 2019 are playing the NFC East, the AFC West, the Bucks, and the Cardinals. The AFC West, yeah, that's gonna be a tough one next year. I think AFC West not gonna be as tough as people think. I think a lot of teams gonna figure out Kansas City. I think a lot of teams gonna figure out San Diego. But I think San Diego will be a little bit older. All right. But that was the season. That was the season pretty much in the wrap up. Biggest disappointing players or disappointments overall this year. Zeke Ansah obviously probably was the biggest disappointment with Matthew Stafford, 1A, 1B. Stafford was a huge disappointment this year. Jim Bob Cooter, Zeke Ansah, Stafford were the biggest disappointments this year by far, all equally. When Zeke was healthy, he was a beast in the Jets game. And when he did play, he still can play. Just his body's just physically not able to hold up in the NFL. I think he should consider taking a year or two off or retiring altogether. But he beat up. I don't see the Lions bringing him back unless it's for like the veterans minimum or a Lion-friendly salary. But I think those three are the biggest disappointment. Stafford, obviously we know he regressed for 10 years. People have been talking about Stafford potential and how everything got to be perfect around Stafford for him to prosper. Jim Bob Cooter is supposed to install this brand new offense. It didn't work. Obviously, the Lions had some success running the ball this year, but it still didn't help Matthew Stafford. Even when he had Jones, Galladay, Golden Tate, it never clicked. Jim Bob Cooter still doesn't know how to run the ball successfully. and call successful run plays, traps, whams, cutbacks, zone. He should have tried to adopt, call Gary Kubiak and Mike Shanahan and try to adopt the zone running game, running cutback scheme they ran in Denver and ran a little bit with Robert Griffin III in Washington, but he didn't. Obviously, what else went wrong? He don't know how to utilize the tight end. I did a full video on that. The guy just can't utilize the tight end the way he needs to, man. So at the end of the day, he just couldn't utilize the tight end. And I'm surprised nobody really else picked up on that, or I didn't pick up on it sooner. I thought it was like Ebron, but when I actually thought about it and I actually seen Ebron perform, yeah, I agree, Frederick. He might not play again. E7 Mount 313. Miami was good for the Lions on the road. Yeah, but they wasn't a good team, though. They had a backup quarterback. Once again, they had a backup quarterback. But like I said before, Jim Bob Cooter, he doesn't know how to utilize his tight ends. I knew he didn't utilize Eric Ebron the right way. And that, for me, that doesn't fall on Matthew Stafford, okay? That doesn't fall on Matthew Stafford. The lack of tight end use, it falls on Jim Bob Cooter. You see Eric Ebron in Indianapolis, and I watched quite a few of their games. He did wheel routes. He did deep routes. They put him on post corner routes. They put him on a lot of different routes, man. You know what I'm saying? And they utilized him getting vertical. In the Lions offense, you had a tight end that was at one of the best in the league at getting vertical, and that was Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson gets vertical downfield better than any tight end that I seen, man, when he gets opportunity, other than probably like Eric Ebron. Luke Wilson, they never featured Luke Wilson's ability to stretch the field like Seattle did. And at the end of the day, that's Jim Bob Cooter. Jim Bob Cooter offense isn't tight end friendly. That's just what it is. All right. So we got our biggest disappointments are all for a tie. Ziggy, Stafford, Jim Bob Cooter. I'm going to go second biggest disappointment by itself was Teez Tabor. And for me, he ain't number one because I didn't think Teez Tabor was shit. Excuse my French. Okay. I didn't think Teez Tabor was really nothing. Okay. That's just my personal opinion. I didn't like it when the Lions drafted Teez Tabor. I didn't like it. Okay. Any corner that runs in a 4-6, man, I ain't like it, man. It's exceptions like Richard Sherman, Brandon Brown, or guys like that. But when you run that slow, you better be able to be in a zone system, or you better have great ball skills and great anticipation. And in college, Teez Tabor had some great ball skills, but guess what? He couldn't run with NFL talent, bro. And you can't touch people. Teez Tabor was probably single-handedly one of the worst draft picks the Lions ever picked. You know what I'm saying? And, it's for him, he get that spot, but you never know. He could probably go to safety and do better than that, though. But also, going to third biggest disappointment on the team, I can't call Nevin Lawson a disappointment because he just sucks. Okay? Nevin Lawson just straight up suck. But he always a disappointment, so he always going to be somewhere in the mix. Deshaun Hand was a disappointment as well. I'm trying to continue to think. Glover Quinn was a disappointment this year. He didn't fit in the system. I'm just going to run some names off. Who else do we have also a disappointment? Mike Roberts was a disappointment for me as well. TJ Jones was another disappointment for me. The whole right side of the line, Rick Wagner, TJ Lang was disappointments this year. How do you want to rank these guys? LeGarrette Blount was a disappointment this year. Theoretic was a disappointment this year. Marvin Jones was a disappointment this year, but that's due to the injury he suffered in camp. Obviously, Pasqualoni was a disappointment this year. I'm going to continue to keep going down the list. Who else I got? That's pretty much it, man. Those were the disappointments of the year. We going Stafford, Ziggy, Jim Bob Cooter, number one. Number two was Teez Tabor, and everybody else I just named, however you want to rank them, they actually went down there. Cut list is Tabor, Nevin Lawson, Theo Reddick, Jim Bob Cooter. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get to that. Ashawn Robinson was a disappointment. Yeah, he actually was a disappointment. I definitely agree with that one. Appreciate it. Luke Wilson was a disappointment, but I don't put him on there because that was Jim Bob Cooter's doing. I'm going to get to the chat right now. Give me a second. I'm coming down the chat right now. And then we're going to continue to who's the shining spots for the Lions. Okay. Here we go. I'm just going to start off with props. Stafford looked bad for Jim Bob Cooter. Love. Well, we be that was a props. Sub Z said we be set in 2 years under Patricia. I'm still not sold on Patricia, but it is what it is. Lots of money with free agent and high driver team will be good next year. We gotta see if they're gonna spend the money on somebody. They can get somebody to come here. Katie Black. Hopefully we draft Greedy Williams. A lot of people like Greedy Williams. That's my comeback record. Stafford played terrible. Jets and Diggs holding call killed our vibe. 49ers game. Yeah, and Burgess, I definitely agree with the holding call on Diggs, but I mean that Kittle's character, man, that rookie, was he from Iowa? That dude got the record for most yardage by tight end. Travis Kelce broke it, man. That dude went off versus some team he went off versus. I think it was the Seahawks, one of them. That dude is a beast. So I ain't mad at Quadre Diggs for holding. But what I'm mad at is Stafford missed 2 or 3 open touchdowns in that game versus the 49ers, though. I'm not gonna put that on Quadre Diggs. Single covering Kittles or whatever his name is. That dude is a beast. Beast mode. Just tell him that the game doesn't matter. That's way he'll be relaxed at the start of the game. He in the remainder of the game talking about Stafford. That's beast mode. Props 313 says Stafford doesn't care about winning anymore. I think Jim Bob Cooter and the team, and just Jim Bob Cooter killed his vibe for winning, in my opinion. Adam Gates can help Stafford with his mechanics. I agree. Old School Warrior, what player is the biggest disappointment? All right, got to that already. Lions 2019, okay, I got to that already. Old School Stafford did have a bad year, no doubt about it. I think his bad year was attributed to Jim Bob Cooter not making adjustments. I think he lost faith in Jim Bob Cooter. I'm not trying to say Stafford not culpable for none of the blame, but Jim Bob, do you think we draft a quarterback from Alabama 2020? Boy, nasty, man. Tank for Tua or tank for Trevor Lawrence if you want to wait 3 more years. Trevor Lawrence is a big, strong boy, man. And Tua. I don't know if the Lions want a left-hand quarterback, though. I think you have a better chance in 3 years in getting Trevor Lawrence. Rams really didn't do shit on offense for 3 quarters. Then they just got tired in the fourth quarter, holding them to 14 points in the first 3 quarters. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. Offense ain't do shit for them. Same thing happened with the Vikings game. Same thing happened with the Vikings. Okay, we'll talk about the cut list in a minute. I'll get to that. Kyle Renenberg say, screen pass behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd down is what killed us. I got sick of tired of watching it time and time again. It got to the point where you could call the plays as of a 3rd down. I agree. Mike Ford is a beast. I like Mike Ford. I think he could be back next year for sure. If they don't bring him back, they some fools. Fred Jackson say, I say some part you got to put the blame on Matt Stafford. For he's just making $27 million a year. You don't got the ability to check out of plays and to be better. True. So I don't know. I don't know if he can check out of plays at the line, or is he smart enough to do something. Remember, Joe Lombardi called him stupid. Yeah, Southeastern Missouri State. They got a good one out of him. Another year. Full training camp with the Lions. Yep. Okay, I read a lot of comments. Okay, talking about talk about who did good this year. It wasn't a lot of who did good this year, but obviously, I like Slay. He did good this year. I like Deshaun Hand. I think he did really good this year. Obviously, Snack Harrison did good this year. Kenny Galladay had a hell of a year. Who was the center this year? Grant Glasgow did pretty solid this year. I don't know what his Pro Football Focus rank was, but I didn't hear him do too bad this year. Kerryon Johnson was an animal this year. I think Kerryon Johnson and Kenny Galladay is going to be the staple of this offense in my opinion. They really did well this year. Frank Ragnar, he was a little bit up and down, but that's expected. But I think he did real well this year, just from me looking. Romeo Wakwa, Eli Harrell had some time. Devin Kennard was pretty solid this year, but again, I like him better with his hand in the dirt than outside dirt. Obviously, another disappointment was Kerry Hyder. He never got healthy this year. He got a sack yesterday. Let me throw that in there. Jared Davis, for me, he don't make neither one of the list for me. He right in the middle. Glover Quinn was a disappointment this year too. Let me say that. I missed some disappointments in there. Quadre Diggs was a bright spot again this year. I like Quadre Diggs a lot. He did have a holding penalty versus 49ers, but he did break his hand or something. So, pretty much the shining people for me was Kerryon, Kenny Galladay, Deshaun Hand, Quadre, Darius Slay, Devin Kennard was out, throw him in there. Who else we got in there? Snacks Harrison, Deshaun Hand, I said him. That's pretty much it that I could think of. Tracy Walker was a shining. I put him in the middle because he got more to prove. But that was pretty much my people who shined this year. Yeah, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, I never liked him. He was just too small. He was too small. He was just too small. Yeah, I agree, B Small. I agree with that. Yep. Alshon Robinson, yes, a disappointment. I put him in a disappointment. Somebody mentioned that he disappointed me this year. I'm for a guy that played had his defensive court line coach from Alabama back to play that bad this year. I'll definitely say he a disappointment. But I don't think they ever gave him a fair shot. Where do you see the Lions drafting the tight end this year? I don't think they're going to draft for tight end this year. I think they look to free agency. Or they might draft one late. I mean, what round that Kittle's character come in? I don't think the Lions need a tight end, bro. If Jim Bob Cooter going to stay, that's a chance that Jim Bob Cooter could stay, I would guess. I hope it's no chance, but it ain't the tight end position. It's the offensive coordinator. I mean, look at Eric Ebron. He's being utilized right in the Indianapolis system. So any tight end that come play for the Detroit Lions is not going to be utilized right. That's just the fact. That's just the fact of the matter is. Any tight end that come to the Detroit Lions under Jim Bob Cooter is just not going to be. It's not going to be utilized right. It's not the tight end. It's not Luke Wilson. It's not Mike Roberts. It's not Eric Ebron. It was it was him. No, Michael Ford wasn't horrible. He had some bad plays, but shit, he came in the middle of the season. He didn't have no grasp of the playbook. Who was terrible was Nevin Lawson and motherfucking Tease Tabor. Mike Ford, he didn't have no training camp with the Lions, I don't believe. Undrafted rookie free agent. Mike Ford was nice. I like Mike Ford. Mike Ford was the second best corner for the Lions this year overall. Because remember, Jamal Agnew was getting his ass cooked before he went out with his injury. Ford was better than everybody not named Slade at the cornerback position. Not saying that you should have Ford going until next season starting, but shit, no, he'd be nice to have on the he in the Corey Blue. Yeah, he in the middle of the pack. Ricky John Francois. Like he just like he wasn't great. He wasn't terrible or bad, but he like in the middle of the pack. That's just my personal opinion on him. He was middle of the pack. You know what I'm saying? He had some good moments as well there. But when Damon Snack Harrison came in, it was a wrap. Yeah, he's definitely a good third or fourth corner. He was a good depth guy. One day Mike Ford might get acclimated to the system or get acclimated to the Lions or to the league. He might be a starting quarterback one day. He might be a Pro Bowler. You never know. Most definitely. And what else we got here? We did the good, the bad, reviewed the list. Obviously talking about coaches that need to go. Obviously Jim Bob Cooter. Okay, we don't got to spend time on that one. We used to talk about Jim Bob Cooter all year. Hyundai boy said, "Are we sure it's Black Monday?" Hold on. I gotta read that comment. Like it's gonna be a good one because it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Jim Bob Cooter still got a job. That's what I said. Every minute that go by today, and Jim Bob Cooter ain't been fired. Remember, the Lions are real secretive. They won't tell the local media. They won't tell the local media what their plans are. They won't tell the local media what their plans are, but they'll fuck around and tell ESPN. Make sure I hit that like button, man. If y'all hit the like button, hit it so I can get some more hits in here, man, so people can see it. Agnew does look good in the slot. Yeah, he gotta get used to that shit though, bro. He didn't tear his knee up. We all thought he did. Kerryon Johnson rushed 1,000 yards next. Oh yeah, I mean if they utilize him. What else we got? Okay. Who ain't bringing back next year? Okay. Appreciate it, Greg. Man, I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I said that. I said we need a new DC, bro. I just said that at the beginning. Pascaloni just old, bro. Even if they got to bring in a high school coach, and I mean, even if Patricia gonna call the defensive plays, he need to be tutoring somebody up under him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said about Adam Gase. If Adam Gase come here, I think if Adam Gase do well with Stafford and Lions, he needs to be tutoring. They need to have him training his replacement because I think Adam Gase is gonna come back to Detroit and go get another head coaching job. In my opinion, I don't think he deserves to get fired from Miami, but that's just my personal opinion. The cut list: Zeke Janssen can go. Ricky John Francois, he older, he can go. I ain't saying he had a bad, he's just older. The whole right side of the line, Rick Wagner, TJ Lane can go. Taylor Decker, I'll give him one more year. But every running back can go. The only one I'll keep was Kerryon and maybe Zach Zenner. But, that's it. I cut Blunt and Reddick. Luke Wilson, I wouldn't bring him back. Mike Roberts, I just start over at tight end. I think Jim Bob Cooter killed the tight end position. I start over. I only keep Toyota. That's what I call the tight end from Atlanta. I call him Toyota. Ansel can go. That's correct. Alshon Robinson can go. Nevin Lawson, Shed can go. Tease Tabor can go. Miles Killebrew can go. I don't know if he's still on the team. But Tabor, if you want to try him at safety, they should have been switched him to safety. But at this point, I never like him for the Lions. He can go. Who else we missing? I was thinking, but with the 8th pick, do you see them picking up another? No, I don't see them picking up an O-lineman. I see them trading back in the draft and picking up an O-lineman if that's the case. I don't see them picking an O-lineman, but I don't know what the prospects looking like, though. I'm saying Tavon Wilson can go. Keep him going. Glover Quinn can go. He don't fit this system. I love Glover Quinn, one of my favorite Lions all the time. But he can go. Who else we forgetting about, bro? Pascaloni, he can go. No, Robinson can go, bro. He don't fit this system. Alshon Robinson don't fit the system, bro. Sylvester Williams was another disappointment. Somebody said it earlier. We're not picking an O-lineman that high. That's why I said I had to drive back. So anybody else I'm missing? Matt Castle can go. Matt Castle can go for sure. For sure, Matt Castle can go, man. So those are the guys I think can go. All right. Every tight end can go. I think Jim Bob Cooter ruined them. And you got some friends, guys, man. We got to talk about, man. What about Marvin Jones? It said that Marvin Jones is one of Matt Patricia, not a Matt Patricia guy. So there's a real chance they might get rid of Marvin Jones. He might get gone via trade. So Bruce Holmes, salute. We can get rid of every shit we ain't got. I got no picks. We got picks, I believe. They got a 3rd round pick back, and I think they get a compensatory pick this year. Don't quote me on that. I don't think Marvin Jones is bad, bro. Marvin Jones suffered an injury early in camp, and I never think he actually got back healthy from that injury. Remember that knee injury he suffered? I don't think he ever got back that from the injury. Golden Tate was a disappointment. I tread very, very lightly when talking about the receivers on this team this year, who's a disappointment. Anytime I go back and say Jones or Golden Tate was a disappointment this year, other than TJ Jones, I just think he overall was a disappointment this year, in my opinion. I had higher hopes for him. I look at Jim Bob Cooter when it comes to Mike Roberts, when it comes to Luke Wilson, when it comes to Golden Tate, it comes to Marvin Jones. That's all Jim Bob Cooter, bro. Jim Bob Cooter keep Marvin Jones on that left side of the field all the time. You know what I'm saying? I never felt that Jim Bob Cooter utilized Golden Tate to the best of his abilities neither. So I'm not going to shit on none of them receivers, bro. I blame Matthew Stafford before I blame I blame Matthew Stafford, Jim Bob Cooter, Matthew Stafford before I blame Jones, Tate, Galladay, Johnson, Luke Wilson, Mike Roberts. Before I blame them, I blame Jim Bob Cooter. I don't think he put them in the best position to be successful this year. So at the end of the day, it's just my personal opinion on that. So I'm not gonna shit on Golden Tate, even though he went to Philly and they in the playoffs now. He didn't do much, but it's hard for you to come in somewhere and learn the system and be successful. Fuck Bruce Ellington, man. He got to go. He can take his Gamecock butt somewhere else. South Carolina Gamecocks, the Harvard of the South. Got that from The Simpsons. Bro, I never understood why they chose Castle to back up Stafford over Rudock. I don't know neither. Thank God we didn't need him for long this season. Because Rudolph can't throw over 20 yards. Remember the Ravens game last year? Shit, neither can Matt Castle, bro. That dude got he truly got a water pistol. But yeah, I'm not gonna blame no man. Marvin Jones. I would love to bring back Marvin Jones. I think it's Matthew Stafford fault and part of injury fault and part of Jim Bob Cooter fault that he didn't really thrive this year. Definitely Brandon Powell could stay. Oh, you're talking about the dudes that I definitely think could stay before I forget. Yeah, I get that every day, bro. G. Lamont Leonard. The guys that obviously stay, obviously we got obvious guys that's gonna stay. So I'm not gonna name the obvious Deshaun Hands, Damon Snack Harrison, Stafford. I know he ain't going nowhere. But the guys that I will keep is obviously Brandon Powell. I'll keep Mike Ford. Obviously, I'll keep Tracy Walker. Jared Davis. I'll move him to outside. Miles Killebrew can leave. Romeo Rockwell, Eli Harold. I keep both of them. I keep Taylor Decker for another year. Maybe draft a developmental left tackle. I keep Ragnow. I keep Glasgow. The whole right side line can leave. I keep Zach Zenner. I probably keep Zach Zenner. I keep Carrion. So those are dudes I pretty much get. Obvious guys I'm not going to say. But Christian Jones, I think I would try to draft the outside linebacker. And Kennard, I will move Kennard to the defensive end position. And that's just how I rock. No, TJ can go, bro. He done. I mean, for the sake of his overall bodily health and his mental health, TJ Jones need to retire, bro. He done. But he got a big cap hit. But yeah, TJ Lang definitely the whole right side of the line go Wagner and Lang. I'd rather rock out with Kenny Wiggins and Terrell Crosby. But I definitely see some more O linemen coming in the draft. Look how Larry Warford is doing over there in New Orleans. He couldn't stay healthy here. But Larry Warford over there in New Orleans balling. I don't know about Adrian Waddle. He still was getting injured over there in Patriots. That dude was like the dude from Shattering from Glass. He touched the ground, he turned to glass. Yeah. Kyle, he need to go defensive end, bro. I don't like him at linebacker. He don't even like he fluid enough to play linebacker, bro. He got one of them neck rolls on, like he's stiff. Hey, man, I just gave you a shout out on IG. I appreciate it, Gregory, man. I definitely appreciate it. If Stafford can't work well with Gase, then it's Stafford for sure. Yeah, Gase is really, really good. Adrian Waddle. Yeah, Adrian Waddle was good. But he just was injured. That dude was injured. Yeah, I bet KJ Lane come back too, bro. The cap hit too bad. Swanson hasn't been bad either. Swanson got cut. You talking about Graham Glasgow. Swanson played for the Jets, or he might have got cut by the Jets, bro. Yeah, we traded centers with the Jets. We didn't literally trade. They took our center and we picked up their center in free agency. Yeah, I forget the dude's name. We cut him from the Jets, though. We cut his ass. He said it looked like he should have wear a neck roll. Yeah, man, dude, he got a stiff neck, bro. Like, for real. Why is Cooter still here? I keep checking my phone for breaking. Hey, Lionheart, I'm doing the same thing. But the Lions are real secretive, man. If they fire Jim Bob Cooter right now, we won't know until like Friday. So hopefully they cut him. We need a guard in the draft because Terrell Crosby a right tackle. Yeah, we need a guard. But Wiggins had a good key block yesterday, but I like him as a depth guy. Yeah, Calvin Noy did win. Riley is our right tackle in Minnesota. Yeah, he was getting blew back a little bit though the other day, but I think he's doing pretty well up there. I'm rooting for Gary Kubiak. I like Kubiak. Somebody want me to do a video. I'm gonna do it next week. Yeah, I'll take a video request. Just email me. Let me update my description on this one, and then we can go into wish list, and then I'll wrap it up with some Q&A. I wish I could see how my dog laid out. This dude sleep like a human. My dog a real life human, bro. For real. Update this. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Are you going to do a draft pick prospect video? Yeah, I did them all last year. I call them the draft spotlight, free agent spotlight. I do them. Gotta get to work on some prospects. Right around the Combine, Senior Bowl, and Shrine Bowl, I'll be getting to them. Okay, some wish list guys out there. Let's look at the free agent list. Okay, this is really, really premature because you got guys that can be franchised and stuff of that nature. All right. So you got, oh man, I ain't gonna say that. You got Robert Griffin III. I'm looking at the quarterbacks. All right, the quarterback free agent list is looking like Colt McCoy, Ryan Griffin, Fitzpatrick, Tom Savage, Brett Hurley, Hundley. Is this year's? Okay, Brett Hundley. I'm thinking about Deshaun Kaiser. Nate Sudfield, Josh McDowell, Alex Tanney, Teddy Bridgewater, Trevor Simeon, David Fells, Osweiler, Sean Mannion, Geno Smith, Landry Jones, Joe Webb, Brandon Wheaton. I just seen Joe Webb playing receiver for the Texans 2 weeks ago. Matt Castle, Keith Hogan, Tyrod Taylor, Derek Anderson, Robert Griffin III, Matt Schaub. Only guy I would consider there is probably RG3. Consider. Running back position, I'm gonna give y'all the basic names. Tevin Coleman, he didn't have a really good year this year, even with Devontae Freeman out. Alex Collins will be he restricted though. He a really good inside runner that can mesh well with Kerryon Johnson. He with the Ravens. Him and Buck Allen from the Ravens are free agents. They got that rookie free agent, so one of them gonna go. I like Buck Allen. He kind of more. It's kind of redundant. He kind of more like Kerryon, not as explosive. Keon Bonner, kick returner, could possibly. LeGarrette Blunt, free agent. We all know that. Who cares? TJ Yeldon, I don't like him. Spencer Ware, maybe. Amir Abdullah, Latavius Murray, Mark Ingram will be a good pickup. Le'Veon Bell, he could be a free. They definitely gonna be a free agent next year because they're not gonna match that offer. Peyton Barber is another underrated guy from Tampa Bay. So out of the running backs, I like the two Ravens running back, Alex Collins and Buck Allen. I like Le'Veon Bell, but not for the price, to be honest. Mark Ingram is the guys I really like for them. Y'all want to know the receiver list? Yeah, I'll take a chance on Hunt, but Hunt is not even on this list. But y'all know why. Larry Fitzgerald is a free agent. I think he's too old. Devin Funchess is a free agent. You can bring him back home. Randall Cobb, he old. Chris Conley from Kansas City will be interesting. After that, it's really nobody really there. Golden Tate, he possibly can come back. I think it's a long shot, but it ain't really no free agent receivers out there. Okay, tight ends. Max Williams from Baltimore is a game I noticed. CJ Uzomah from Cincinnati. Tyler Eifert from Cincinnati. He get hurt a lot though. Toyota from here. I think we bring him back. Jared Cook. Jared Cook could be a nice tight end for Stafford. I don't know. He want to get out of Oakland. Offensive line. I'm not gonna go through the offensive lineman, but I'll go through the cornerbacks. Okay. It's a lot of them. Darqueze Dennard from Michigan State. I don't know. He had to be a depth. I'll take him over Neville Lawson, bro. I'm just gonna keep it real. Orlando Scandrick. I don't like him. Jason McCourty. He old. Buster Screen. He a good nickel corner. I don't know if he coming off an injury, but it really ain't no corners out there like that. So Trey Boston is still he is safety. I like Trey Boston coming to Detroit. I don't know why he didn't get picked up again this year. He got picked up by Arizona, but he did an excellent job for San Diego last year. Obviously, Darwin James took his job. Darwin James is a good guy. Eric Reed would be a good pickup for the Lions as well. He got some baggage with the kneeling thing, though. But I still love to see him come here. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, has safety. I like him as well. Reggie Nelson, I like him as safety. Earl Thomas, I like him. Even coming off injury, I take a chance on him. High Clayton Dix, I guess I take a chance on him if the price is right. So, yeah, it's a few guys that I'll take a chance if the price is right on, man. But out of the guys that I'm looking at on this list, which I don't know how accurate this list will become, you'll have guys that get released. I like Trey Boston a lot. I like Landon Collins a lot. I didn't see him. And I like Earl Thomas a lot out the safety position. On running back position, I love Alex Collins for the Lions. a younger, fresher LeGarrette Blount. Other than that, it ain't too many things. You talking about quarterback? Maybe a depth guy if they don't get developmental guy. I guess Robert Griffin III. He gives you a running aspect, from the quarterback position. Yeah, I wouldn't say the Honey Badger would be my full time tight end. I can't. Freddie Matthews. I definitely would bring in a rookie. I'm a full time safety. I'll definitely bring in a rookie safety with him. Oh, Swearinger got picked up, dog. I think he's gonna sign a deal with the Cardinals though. But yeah, with Kajay, we could have Landon Collins in him. I think they trust Tracy Walker a lot though. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. Yeah, I like Earl Thomas, what he brings to the table. Also, some things we could talk about. Le'Veon Bell. He want too much money though. And I'm more of the guy that's gonna ride with Kerryon and possibly a Alex Collins, a Zach Zenner, and then if I can go find me an explosive speed guy in the draft that could just do returns and maybe somebody like Nyheim Hines for the Indianapolis Colts. I'm pretty much with that. I'm trusting in Le'Veon Bell. I'm trusting in Kerryon Johnson and maybe Alex Collins, Zach Zenner, and then I'm giving you a speed guy in the backfield. So those are four I run with. As far as tight end, I like CJ Uzomah. Male lady. My dog don't bark until it's time to go. Until it's go time. All right, buddy. She gone, man. Lay down. Who you talking back? Lay down. But yeah. Dre Archer, oh my God, bro. Madden guy, bro. Man, she gone, bro. She gone, bro. Chill out. All right, go lay down. He just pooed it. Why? Get out of here. Who let the dogs out? Yeah, my dog only bark when somebody come on our property. Or when we playing with him. He'll bark. Lions gonna draft some playmakers in the draft. I hope so. But all right, I'm end off with this, and then I ask questions. It's a chance the Lions could trade for Marvin. They could trade for Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham is possibly on the trade block. They're assessing his trade value. Yeah, I love Adam Gase as an offensive coordinator. I love Adam Gase. Former Michigan guy, was named Jed Fish, who with the LA Rams. And I also like Gary Kubiak. But Odell Beckham is possibly on the trading block. I think the Lions have the assets to trade for Odell Beckham. I think they can give them Marvin Jones and, possibly they could move down the draft, acquire more picks. But I like Odell Beckham coming back here, but I still like Marvin Jones to stay here. But if you got a chance to get Odell Beckham and you don't have to give up a king's ransom, I think you can get him. Jalen Ramsey is another guy. I think the Lions needed Jalen Ramsey on their team, to be honest. I think I will rate trying to go get Jalen Ramsey over Odell Beckham. I think Jalen Ramsey is cheaper than Odell Beckham. And as well, you can go out there and also get Leonard Fournette. His contract just got voided by the Jaguars. They looking to move him. I think Leonard Fournette and Kerryon Johnson to be a formidable 1-2 punch. But I think Leonard Fournette will be on a 1-year prove it deal. He does have some injury issues, but I think him and Kerryon Johnson keep each other sane. Fournette will be a huge pickup, cheap pickup. But Jalen Ramsey is the guy the Lions need, in my opinion. Okay. I don't think Odell Beckham a locker room cancer, bro. I think Odell Beckham is just being real about Eli Manning. I think Matthew Stafford can utilize Odell Beckham's vertical ability. I think Odell Beckham would be happy in Detroit with Matthew Stafford and possibly Adam Gase as well. But his contract is not as guaranteed as Megatron, though. Okay. That's why they're able to trade him and not get a big penalty. He don't have as much guaranteed money throughout the contract. I think it's basically on the front end. You know what I'm saying? But, you're not going to find an Odell Beckham who can play outside, inside. You put him with Kenny Galladay. You can put him with Brandon Powell. You can bring in a receiver. And on the free agent market, and I don't know what the draft looking like for receiver, but the wide receiver market, my guys, is pretty frugal. It's pretty frugal. It's real cheap. You talking about the best receiver I see on here? Let me tell you this before I get off. The best receiver I see on here is Larry Fitzgerald. Real shit. Even at his old age. So, yep. Josh Gordon. You really want Josh Gordon? You really want Dez Bryant? Philip Dorsett, Cody Lattimore, Corey Coleman, Jermaine Kearse. So, it ain't a great year for receivers. Oh, Adam Humphrey's not a bad receiver from Tampa Bay. I like him. But, it is what it is, man. But I like Jalen Ramsey to Detroit, man. I think that defense need an identity. I think Jalen Ramsey will get that defensive swagger need. Darius Slay, Jalen Ramsey, Tracy Walker, Quadre Diggs. Agnew or Mike Ford in the nickel or playing a dime. I like it. So I think Jalen Ramsey, if they're gonna trade anybody, yeah, I don't know about Jack Rabbit, bro. He be getting smoked. Maybe it's the Giants. I like Landon Collins as well too. But y'all got any other questions before I hop off, man, about the Lions off season, man, or Lions season in general? I try to answer them real minute. I'll try to stay on a couple more minutes. Yeah, Jack Rabbit, he do take chances. He get burnt or he get the pick though. He can get the pick 6. Snacks is under contract for 1 more year. They need to sign him up this offseason. You're right about Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, they need that identity, some swag, man. Quadre Diggs is the enforcer, but they don't have that middle linebacker like Ray Lewis or Brian Urlacher that give you that identity. You know what I'm saying? And Ramsey would help you with that. Would you trade for Ramsey and Fournette? I definitely would. I don't know about. Fournette. You probably get Fournette, yeah, for a little bit of nothing. His contract ain't nothing. So I'll take a chance on Fournette and Ramsey. You instantly get a boost. Oh yeah, Happy New Year, man. Appreciate it, Old School Warrior. Long-term deal, Snacks. Yeah, I'll give him a long-term deal. Yeah, he deserve it. But maybe look at him a little bit next year, first 4 or 5 games. But the way he sold up that run defense, I think he worth it. You got to worry about getting them big fellas contracts. When they get fat and get lazy. They got Kerryon. Why would they get Fournette? It's a 2 running back league, bro. Kerryon Johnson is not really an every down back, though. That's not how they use him. That's why they had LeGarrette Blunt with Kerryon Johnson. You do a two backfield. Let Leonard be the hammer. And Kerryon Johnson came out of Bob Quinn voice to be the slasher. You do a 2-back system, and Leonard not gonna cost you nothing. All his guaranteed money gone if they void that contract. So it's a cheap deal. If you come here and ball out, if you don't, you cut him and don't own nothing. You gotta take risks like that when you're Detroit Lions to get talent like Leonard Fournette. And Leonard Fournette is a risk with his health and with his attitude, bro. He is a risk. Ramsey, Davis, and Diggs was swagged up. Yeah, it's nice. How long are you going to wait before we fire Jim Bob Coochie? Detroit Dream. They might have already fired him. The Lions organization real secretive, man. Maybe they don't want to fire him this year. They want to wait till next year, let him enjoy his New Year's. But Devin White or DeAndre Baker at number 8 would be. I'm not familiar with neither one of them, bro. I got to go back and watch some tape, watch some film. I really missed out on a lot of college this year, dog. I've been watching more Michigan games than anything this year. So, who would you give up for Jalen Ramsey and Fournette? That's a good question. They need a I don't know what Jacksonville would need, but Ramsey. That's a good question. I don't know. I have to think about that one. All right, peace, bro. Have a good New Year too. Joshua Seeley, Jim Bob Coochie keeps a job just because OGR likes his name. Freddie Matthews, I seen an article that said Bob Quinn is on the hot seat. Man, Martha Ford ain't gonna fire Bob Quinn, bro. I'd rather draft a bruiser at running back. Yeah, I agree. But if you can get Leonard Fournette for cheap, why not? He ain't gonna be him and Kerryon just share duties. Trade the quarterback. You have to trade the quarterback after June, because then it's only a $10 million cap hit. So the Lions just clearing they cap hits, bro. Because the Lions have been getting a lot of cap hits from Sue and not Sue, but from other guys that didn't cut in the past. And don't forget, if they gonna cut TJ Lang, he got a big cap hit too. So you can make a video out of it. Yeah, I gotta think about it. Yeah, Stafford, like, I mean, you can't get rid of Stafford and TJ Lang this year. As far as if TJ Lang don't retire. Out for the Ramsey trade. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I got you. He might be injury prone. Yeah, I like Jalen Ramsey attitude, man. He a little sassy, though. I don't like that shit, but I think his confidence with a new middle linebacker would I like his confidence. You need guys like Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, Fournette, okay. All right, I'm about to log off, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Maybe I'll get y'all one more video in for the day. Bruce Holmes, appreciate it. Freddie Matthews, appreciate it. Beast Mode, 21840, appreciate it. Frederick Williams, appreciate it. On Feet, 101, I appreciate it. Keep going down the list. Give me a minute. Sub Z, I see you. Joshua Seeley, I see you. Thomas Lewis, Luke Black. Who else we got in here? Old School Warrior, Kyle Renenberg, I appreciate you for coming through. Benedict R, I appreciate you for coming through. Frederick Williams, always appreciate you coming through. Detroit Dreams, always appreciate you coming through. And everybody else that came through, Lamont Leonard, and everybody else that came through, man. Gregory Heasley, and everybody else, man. We had a very, very successful year. I'll drop a wrap-up video before midnight about the successful year we had on the channel. And we look forward to having more successful years. What's up, Orlando? I see you. Yeah, man. Other than that, man, appreciate y'all, man, for coming in. Zach Page, Moneybag Rich. Jalen Ramsey will be a huge upgrade, but I'd rather try to go after AJ Green or Odell. Yeah, AJ Green injury prone, though, man. That's the thing about it, though. He injury prone, but I like him. Maybe because he don't want to play with Andy Dalton no more, but it is what it is. And if you didn't hear, Marvin Jones got fired. Yeah, have a wonderful New Year, man. Justin Baldwin, man. Let me get up out of here, man. But Marvin Jones got fired before Jim Bob Cooter, bro. Well, as soon as Jim Bob Cooter get fired, or if he don't get fired, I'll be the first one to try to let y'all know. But I'm good.